YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud. We're all constantly consuming audio, but just how good is the sound quality with over 80% of content published with no production whatsoever? So there lies the problem, and CloudBounce believes it has the solution. This startup has developed a product called dBounce. It's an artificial intelligence audio producer which makes content sound professional and optimized for streaming. Let's take a listen to some examples of the audio mastering in action.
Some just like to dance at a party.
Joining me now is Anssi Uimonen, co-founder and CEO of CloudBounce. Thanks so much for coming in. So, improving and optimizing audio isn't something new. What's different about your product?
Audio post-production has been around ever since anything has been recorded, and for like decades it has been a process of having a professional sound engineer or mixing and mastering engineer do audio post-production manually, and with kind of like, you know, the recent developments in machine learning, AI, and especially like music information retrieval, it has become possible to automate, kind of like, you know, let the machine do the work for you.
So could you explain a bit how artificial intelligence comes into your business then?
Yes. So for example, when you upload a track to our on our site, our engine then, you know, listens to and analyzes it and finds out kind of like, you know, what's wrong with it, what needs to, you know, to be fixed, and then it automatically applies different kind of audio processing tools and spits out a great sounding product in return without you needing to actually turn some knobs and learn the complex plugins, which is a really good thing, especially when you think about the average content creator who shoots YouTube videos with their smartphones without any, like, you know, professional recording equipment and such. So it's a huge technological advance.
Yeah, so machine learning and artificial intelligence has a big dependence on big data. Where does that data come from?
So you either have access to a vast array, kind of like a vast database of professionally produced content, and then you train the machine learning models with that professionally produced content, so that the machine is capable of then deciding on what needs to be fixed when a amateur recording comes into the system.
Now, you say you're a community-driven ecosystem to build a set of AI audio producers. What do you mean by that?
The whole ecosystem of AI audio production consists of many parts. First, you have the kind of like the feature extraction data. So thousands and thousands of pop music albums from different eras, or TV shows or podcasts. So you actually need to be able to teach the models. Teach the machine learning models, and also then on the other hand evaluate the quality of the AI. So there comes our ecosystem, which we're going to crowdsource. So for example, if you have a lot of like 90s pop music, you can then teach the machine, and then an audio engineer from India, for example, can then evaluate the quality of the AI. And thus building a really, you know, autonomous ecosystem that's automatically rewarding people via Ethereum-based smart contracts.
So there's this extra layer of complexity in your business here, dependence on the Ethereum blockchain. A lot of people won't really know what we mean by that. Can you put that into kind of simple terms?
Yeah. So everyone knows Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Now, Ethereum is basically like Bitcoin, but with smart contracts. So it's kind of like the next generation blockchain. It's not number 2 in the cryptocurrency markets now. And what Ethereum actually enables is that you can program any kind of, you know, business logic and contract logic into the smart contracts and automate payouts. So for example, if I agreed to purchase a car from you at a later date, then we can, program all of that into an Ethereum-based smart contract, which is automatically triggered when I, turn 18 or something like that.
So the Ethereum blockchain obviously is linked to the cryptocurrency Ether. I know you're not entirely dependent on Ether, but we have seen a lot of volatility in the price of this cryptocurrency recently. How does that impact you?
It's a good question. And as the product pricing with DBounce is always pegged against a fiat currency, we are able to actually mitigate the price volatility of Ethereum, and also kind of like tie the product into a kind of like a much more stable ecosystem.
So there's a lot of kind of cynicism around cryptocurrencies and some nervousness, I think, to get into these markets, particularly given the sharp volatility that we've seen in Bitcoin, Ether, a lot of these things. So has there been any pushback from the investor community?
Well, I think that, ICOs, there are a lot of ICOs being done today, were yesterday, were 2 months ago. I think that it's just, a bit slowing down, or people are cautious, trying to, gouge what the market is going to do next. But I don't think that, crypto is going anywhere in that sense. And there is still a lot of investor interest in ICOs.
Now, without getting too much into the nitty-gritty, there's a lot about DB tokens in your literature. Perhaps you could just explain for our viewers what they're about and why they're important and how you use them. Yeah.
So a DB token is the currency, the cryptocurrency that fuels the whole ecosystem. So on the other hand, you have musicians, content creators, podcasters, broadcasting companies, and big streaming platforms who purchase DB tokens, with which they then purchase access to the AI, the latest AI, to make their video and audio content sound better. And then on the other side of the table is the community that actually builds the AI. So there are these audio feature extraction community members. There are people who rent out their GPU power to teach the machine learning models. And then there are people who are evaluating and ranking the quality of the AI, who then in turn earn those DB tokens. So in that sense, the kind of like the whole ecosystem works, and then our kind of like core team only takes a small portion of those transactions to keep the platform running.
So companies like, say, the BBC, for example, I can't really imagine them wanting to get really involved in cryptos and things like that. Maybe I'm wrong, but how do you try and persuade them to do so?
So
presumably you want them to be your clients because you're getting into the broadcasting space. Yes,
and that's all. That problem can be solved by utilizing the standard invoicing. You pay in sterling, you pay in euros, but we in the background handle those transactions via DB tokens. So that kind of like removes the need for a old-fashioned old-fashioned large corporation to get into the world of crypto. They can just pay a normal regular invoice into the bank account, and then we just handle the kind of like the DB transactions automatically in the back end.
Okay, so you're a company that operates in the UK. Are you concerned about Brexit?
Well, we would be if we were fully UK based, but our parent company is actually Finland. So the thing is that UK is a big economy, and while the Brexit is going to have a big impact on the middle class, we don't think that in the long term it will have pretty much any effect, because we are utilizing cryptocurrency. So that's kind of like a global, borderless way of not being reliant on any one empire.
Do Do you feel like there's any kind of risks around being so dependent on this Ether blockchain technology? It's a relatively nascent technology. We don't really know where it's going to go.
Well, actually, we've solved that problem by keeping the dependency on Ethereum network stability and scalability to minimum. So, for example, each client or each web service we put out or offer to enterprises are not utilizing blockchain to run. So you can run them on your Mac, you can run them on your iPhone. It's not dependent on the Ethereum blockchain. Only things that are dependent are the smart contracts that handle the microtransactions, because that's kind of like the best way to go for the next 5 years, which also has been a big thing to take into consideration, is that we are also going to offer traditional credit card and PayPal payments for customers that are old-fashioned, like traditional users who are old-fashioned and don't know what's MetaMask or my Ether wallet or what is this private key. How do I send these tokens to DBAMs?
All right, Anssi, exciting times. Very good luck with your business there.
Thank you.
That was Anssi Uimonen, co-founder and CEO of CloudBounce. You're watching IGTV. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Victoria Scholar. And remember, if you do have any questions, do get in touch via Twitter. I'm at VictoriaS_IG. We'll see you soon.